Hello, and welcome back to part 2 of my devlog for Church of Stratum. It's been about 2 weeks since the last part and I've got lots of stuff done in that time. To begin, let's take a look at the new area in progress, the kitchen. So as you can see, progress is going well with lots of assets being created. Major changes have been made to the lighting, with the biggest being that lights now work with reflection capture. The simple way to explain reflection capture is to look at a mirror. Can you see reflection? Good, that means there's reflection capture. The main difference in Unreal is that doing reflection capture in real time is so expensive that most people's computers will burst into flames just from saying the word ray tracing. Because of this, reflections have to be baked, which basically means to just do it all once and have the game save it and use it every time. This is very cheap but creates a big problem for me. You see, my game only has dynamic lighting, which means I can move lights around in real time and other fancy stuff. It's more expensive than baked lighting, but it's required for my game. The problem though is that Unreal is not great for dynamic lighting, which means when I only have fully dynamic lights in my scene, the reflection capture ignores its existence, meaning there is no reflection and suddenly all metal is now black. So how did I fix this? Well, after 3 days of crying, testing and asking the Unreal forum, I figured out a solution, so now I'm going to explain it to you. Step 1. Drop a movable light, reflection capture and mesh into a blank scene. Step 2. Create a duplicate of the light and set it to stationary. Remember to turn the shadows off as they won't work well with this. Step 3. Bake the reflection capture. And congrats, you now have correct reflection capture. So just gonna turn this light off to show it in the dark and oh no. Step 4. Cry some more, then realise that whilst the reflection capture is baked, it's not baked onto the meshes themselves. It's all within the reflection capture, which means if you just turn the reflection capture off, when you turn the light off, bam, correct reflection capture and no glow in the dark metal. It's most definitely not the best solution, but it works, so I'm glad. So there you have it, that's how you get reflection capture with full dynamic lighting, probably. See this plate? See this hammer? Now there's more plate. The point of this is that stuff breaks, either with small cracks or so much damage that not even flex tape can fix it. So of course, the game should also have this, either by players breaking stuff themselves, which isn't in the game yet, or simply by time looking at a non-broken thing and saying no. But luckily for us with Blender it's very easy to break everything, but let's not talk about what happens when you press a random key by mistake. Instead, let me show you how to break a mesh. So you got Blender, and you got a mesh you don't like. Step 1, make sure you go enable cell fracture in the add-ons menu. Then step 2, select your mesh, go to Object, Quick Effects and Cell Fracture. Here's a ton of sayings I don't really understand, play about with them until something works. Hot tip, if you want to break a small mesh, scale it up first, the system just works better if you do this. Or look for the correct way to do this, I only learned this from a 2-minute YouTube video that I skimmed through. And ta-da, your mesh is now broken. So now just fix the broken geometry, then fix the UVs if you need to, and done. You've got a broken mesh just like that, now you can go and break everything. Of course, whilst I try to do everything myself and learn new things, there are some things I simply cannot do myself or which are far easier to just buy, so here's a list of some assets I've purchased from the Unreal Marketplace. So we have a whole bunch of books, which also come with a dirty version, so that's great for me. Advanced water material, which gives me some nice looking water which may or may not be useless come the next version of Unreal. Procedural ivy generator, which gives me some ivy, basically. Physics interaction and pick up plus inspect, which both allow me to open doors and pick up objects, which is a great thing to have. Menu System Pro, which just allows me to have a menu without having to fiddle around with actually making a menu. And the inventory, which allows me to have an inventory without actually learning how to make an inventory. These are most of the assets that I've purchased, and as you can see, many of them were bought on sale, which is nice for me because it means I've spent less money. So that's all for this video. I'm going to finish off the kitchen, work a bit on the lighting, and then get started on the new area, get some poly for a demo version. See you later.